A multi-vehicle crash in Washington County leaves multiple injured and major backups for the morning commute. Plus, China says formal talks on a trade deal are not underway despite what President Trump has said. More on the mixed messages and what the president is saying about a timeline for trade deals.
Covering news where you live. This is 5 News at Noon.
So thank you for joining us for your 5 News at Noon. I'm Morgan Wrigley here with meteorologist Stephen Elmore. And this week we're looking at pretty much a whole lot of the same thing.
Yeah.
And it's rain.
Yeah, well, rain chances increasing pretty much today, the rest of the week, and through the weekend as well. Have our first chance for some scattered showers this afternoon. Already moving in. Here's a look at radar this afternoon. Again, so far been pretty dry, pretty quiet throughout most of the day today, but we knew by the time we got to the afternoon, and especially by the time we get to this evening, we'd be tracking some of those scattered showers. Now, this cluster of showers that we have moving into eastern Oklahoma right now is really starting to fall apart and slow down. So more than likely, by the time it crosses over into western Arkansas, we're just going to be dealing with a few of these scattered showers, mainly across parts of the River Valley. But Leflore County, Sequoia County, here over the next hour or so, I'm going to see a few of those light scattered showers increasing. More than likely, not seeing many thunderstorms out there right now. That's probably going to stay the same throughout the rest of the day today. Now, by the time we get to this evening, maybe we're talking about an isolated thunderstorm or two. Here's a look at what we're tracking over the next couple of days. Again, that unsettled pattern continues really through the weekend. We're talking about those off and on scattered showers, and every once in a while dealing with one of those isolated thunderstorms. That continues through this upcoming Sunday. Until then, though, right now current temperatures into those mid 70s already this afternoon. 77 is our warm spot there in Boonville. Not having to deal with those rain chances right now, so far feeling pretty comfortable heading into the early afternoon hours. 71 there in West Fork, 71 there in Alma. Northwest Arkansas, the rest of the day today, that cloud coverage is going to increase. This is going to be that window that we'll have later on this evening for the chances of a few of those scattered showers, a few of those isolated thunderstorms as well across the River Valley. More than likely, we're going to see those scattered shower chances increase here over the next couple of hours, and especially by the time we get to this evening, temperatures still going to be into those mid 70s. Again, a possible chance that we see an isolated thunderstorm or two, but overall, those chances are pretty low. This unsettled pattern going to continue through the weekend. We'll talk about those details coming up in just a bit.
Thanks, Stephen. And new at noon, we're learning that a Sallisaw Middle School girl has died after a crash involving a church van. The crash happened Wednesday night near the intersection of Iola Avenue and Walnut Street in Sallisaw. Which happened between a church van and an SUV. Sallisaw police say the girl was in the church van and was pronounced dead on the scene. The driver of the SUV was taken to a nearby hospital in critical condition. And Sallisaw Public Schools confirmed that the girl who died was a student at Sallisaw Middle School. Sallisaw police and OHP are investigating the cause of that crash. Right now, the identities of everyone involved are being withheld out of respect to those families. Well, emergency crews responded to a multi-vehicle crash that caused some backups on I-49 this morning. We're told the crash involved a commercial vehicle and resulted in injuries. This is a look at that scene on I-49 near exit 66. No word yet on how many were injured or their condition. Well, today, China is denying President Trump's claim that the two sides are actively negotiating over tariffs. It comes as the administration is trying to finalize deals with trading partners before a current pause on reciprocal tariffs runs out in July. Natalie Brand has the latest.
President Trump is meeting with Norway's prime minister this afternoon as the White House tries to make as many trade deals as it can in the coming weeks. The administration says it's spoken to 90 countries so far.
They all want to make deals, and we're going to make deals. But they're going to be fair deals. They're not going to be rip-off deals.
But there are mixed messages over the status of talks with China. The Treasury Secretary said this week formal negotiations have not yet begun. But President Trump indicated Wednesday they are actively talking and that the current 145% tariff on Chinese imports could come down.
If we don't have a deal with a company or a country, we're going to set the tariff. We just set the tariff. It's something that we think that will happen, I'd say, over the next couple of weeks. Wouldn't you say? I think so. Over the next 2-3 weeks, we'll be setting the number. And we're going to pick, could be for China, too.
CBS News has confirmed the CEOs of Walmart and Target privately warned President Trump that his tariff policy could disrupt supply chains and potentially result in empty shelves in coming weeks.
The ripple effects are already starting to show. Prices are going up. Markets are reacting, International partners are pulling back.
Arizona's Attorney General and 11 other states have filed a new lawsuit alleging the president exceeded his authority in imposing the tariffs. The White House has defended its policy, arguing the U.S. trade deficit is a national emergency. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
The state's lawsuit claims only Congress has the power to levy tariffs. Trump invoked a 1970s-era law called the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to justify tariffs. An overnight Russian combined missile and drone attack triggered fires, smashed buildings, and buried residents under rubble in the Ukrainian capital city, Kyiv, killing 9 people and injuring more than 70. 6 children were reported to be among the injured. The most serious incident was at an apartment building destroyed in a district west of the city center. There was no comment from Russia. The attacks come at a critical moment in the war that began with Russia's invasion in 2022, as both Kyiv and Moscow are under pressure from the United States to show progress toward a peace deal. Well, the faithful continue to line up to pay their respects to Pope Francis as he lies in state at St. Peter's Basilica. The pontiff died Monday from a stroke and heart failure at the age of 88. The Vatican says nearly 50,000 mourners have paid their respects to Pope Francis in the first 24 hours since he began lying in state at St. Peter's Basilica. Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni was among the tens of thousands of mourners to walk past the Pope's simple wooden coffin, with crowds, including many Americans, filing in well past midnight.
Walking in there, it was so silent, but you could feel how much people really cared about him and how much love there was for this man.
Around 170 dignitaries and heads of state are expected to attend the Pope's funeral on Saturday, which Vatican officials say will mostly take place outside in St. Peter's Square. Meanwhile, the College of Cardinals continues to meet as anticipation grows for the conclave, the historic process to select the next pontiff. Well, here at home, the controversy continues over who will foot the bill for the legal fees in the Crawford County Library lawsuit. The County Library Board decided to pay the amount, but some say they don't want to see that all come from the library. Crawford County has been ordered by a judge to pay $112,000 in legal fees tied to a lawsuit involving the public library system. In 2023, parents sued the county and library leaders after LGBTQ books meant for children were moved to the adult section. A judge later ruled the books must be returned to their original location. Board member Keith Pigg spoke to us as a patron. He says he wants the county to pay at least $40,000. He says the county took that amount from the library budget in 2023 to pay the library director to leave. And he says taking the full amount would impact the county's reserves.
It would be drastic. Everything has been taken out already for the budget for the year, but things come up. I mean, in the environment that we're living in right now, there's no telling what could happen.
We reached out to the county attorney's office, who could not speak with us yesterday. The Crawford County Quorum Court set a special meeting to address the issue next Monday night. Arkansas is expanding protections for kids with food allergies with the bill signed by the governor. Arkansas is now the 6th state to put Elijah's Law into place. Maya Ellison shows us why supporters feel this is so important.
He was in daycare. He had a severe anaphylactic reaction to a grilled cheese sandwich, and he was allergic to milk. So the workers in that childcare setting in New York didn't watch or didn't understand what the reaction was.
Elijah's reaction proved to be fatal, but the family's tragedy birthed a mission to raise food allergy awareness.
All the credit goes to Thomas and Dina for establishing Elijah's Law and foundation.
September 12, 2019, Elijah's Law was signed in New York. 6 years later, the law was signed by Governor Sanders right here in Arkansas. It requires all child care programs to follow stringent food allergy guidelines to prevent, recognize, and respond to life-threatening anaphylaxis and severe allergic reactions.
If the child is vomiting, perhaps it's not because of an upset stomach. It could be because of an allergic reaction. They can't even speak in some cases because they're so young.
Dr. Ashley Stoner with the Little Rock Allergy and Asthma Clinic spends her time helping and educating others on how to save a life.
We place it on the skin and we let it set for 15 minutes. And if there's a reaction, so a large hive that appears with it, packing your kids' lunch so you know exactly what their snacks are, what they're eating. Never hesitate to use the epinephrine.
Stoner tells me it's the first line of defense when fighting a severe allergic reaction. That knowledge is the reason why Elijah's Law can help save a child's life.
Laws like this are really important, will be help protect to make sure that we don't have another tragedy like we did with Elijah.
Arkansas's governor vetoed 2 bills this week. One would have required the state to establish mental health programs to help students at risk of harming themselves or others. The governor says she believes her cabinet secretaries could come up with a better solution. Another would have allowed a medical provider to withhold the release of medical records to patients for up to 30 days. The governor says she opposed the bill for Arkansans to access their personal medical information faster. Well, a double murder suspect made his first court appearance in Fort Smith. Nefesh Ruach pleaded not guilty to 2 charges of first-degree murder. The charges stem from a deadly shooting earlier this month outside the Foxfire Club that claimed the lives of Brian Jones and Todd Jewell. Ruach is being held in the Sebastian County Jail while he awaits trial. And Walmart is announcing plans to remodel 5 stores across Arkansas this year, including one in Fayetteville. The store on Garland Avenue on the U of A campus will see new signage and expanded departments. Walmart is also increasing its online pickup and delivery and adding new privacy features in the pharmacy. This year, the company says it has set a goal to remodel over 600 stores around the country.